Today I've got with me Mr. Gareth Jones, and we are in Paris. Reason being, we are here hosting our first Paris workshop, and I'm super excited for it. We thought we'd shoot this video out and talk about a certain subject which we think you're gonna get a lot of insight from. And the subject is excuses. So, you know, whenever we want to do something, we want to achieve it, we're constantly always trying to put things on the back burner. And we've always got that sort of excuse that we tend to make. What sort of tips do you think, Gareth, you can give to people that are increasing their awareness of going, right, okay, yes, when I do want to achieve something, I am making excuse A, excuse B, excuse C. Like, how do they run with that? How do they turn that around?
The advice that I always give is very, very simple. So a situation exists, right? Let's say you're at a lounge or a bar or whatever, and you see a beautiful woman. You instantly, as a man, you instantly know you want to talk to her, right? Very, very basic. We all say, oh my gosh, look at her. In your mind, then, from that point where you acknowledge that you would like to go speak with her, then the excuses start coming in, right? Oh, well, I'm actually kind of comfy here. Or, oh, you know, she probably has a boyfriend. Or, oh, she's not my type. Or, oh, maybe it's too loud or whatever. Now, the interesting thing about this is twofold. Number one, as soon as you leave that circumstance, I always find as soon as you either leave the club or leave the lounge, or as soon as she leaves, you always realize that none of that mattered. As soon as you walk out of the club, you're like, you know, when you're in the club, you say, oh, I should go back to that girl and get her number, and then you say, oh, I can't be bothered. And as soon as you leave the club, you go, oh, I totally should have done it. Totally should have done it. So you know it's nonsense, right?
Yep.
Every guy that studies this stuff knows that it's nonsense. The other thing too that exists is that they're pretty much always the same reasons for every girl. Oh, she's probably got a boyfriend. Oh, I've been sitting here too long. We all have a cycle of beliefs that we go through. All the same excuses that always exist, no matter what the circumstances.
Let's just, I don't want to just butt in there, but I think what's really valuable, because guys watching this, they're probably going, yeah, I do kind of think that. I do kind of think, oh, I'm not going to go over it because it looks like she's got a boyfriend. There's a guy in the group,
yeah, or there's a guy near her somewhere.
Yeah,
or must be her boyfriend,
right? Or she's like, you know, really attractive. She's not going to be interested in me, right? What's your advice? I give my advice right now. If you see a guy in the group, and you are automatically saying, oh no, she's probably with him, or he's probably sleeping with all of them. Yeah, you need to literally like grab that fear, grab that stupid statement, and crush it, and go, you know what, I'm going to find out for myself.
Go find out, yeah. Best advice.
So I think if guys are in that situation, you go over to the group, speak to the guy, and go, how does everyone know each other? You see the information. And from that reference point, you'll always know for the future, oh my God, I can't believe I was thinking these ridiculous feelings in my head, and now I can actually discover, like, you know, it's all bullshit.
Yeah, the thing about the excuses is that you have to make sure they're cut and dry. You have to make sure that you deal with it in a cut and dry way, right? So every pickup artist in the world has videos of you know, them saying, you have excuses, well, they're not true, so just go do it. And that doesn't work. You know, you can't just say, oh, he's not sleeping with her, so no big deal. Because in the moment, you're like, oh, well, I know Johnny Cassell's video or Gareth Jones' video said that he probably isn't sleeping with her, but I can see something different, which is always nonsense. So what you have to do is you have to deal with the circumstance no matter what it is, no matter how it unfolds. So you got to look at it like this. Let's say you go over, you're in a bar and you see a man and a woman together. Yeah. Okay, they're at the bar, whatever. You say, oh, geez, I bet they're dating. I bet it's his, you know, it's her boyfriend or whatever. You go find out anyway. You walk over, you say, hi guys, they say hi, because usually couples are the friendliest, you know. You go over, you say hi, and then you find out, you say, how do you know each other? And he says, well, you know, we've been dating for 8 years and we're about to get married on Thursday. What's the worst thing that happens? You say, oh, cool. You have a nice little conversation.
It completely goes back to the getting the feedback, getting the information for yourself, to crush that manifestation in your head of, you know, oh my God, no, he's sleeping with all of them, it's his girlfriend. You don't know that until you stare that in the face.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that even if you find out that it is true, it didn't do you any harm.
Right.
You know,
right.
Like, so guys say, oh my God, it's a boyfriend, he's gonna kill me, so I can't talk to him. You just go over and say, oh, it's his boyfriend. You say, oh, cool. Now you look like you know 2 more people.
Absolutely, and he's probably going to point you off to her friends as well.
Exactly.
Because it's my girlfriend, but you should meet her friends.
So how I deal with that, you know, so like I said, we can sit here and say, oh, just do it.
Yeah.
But how I deal with that is I deal with it by saying, write down all these excuses. All these excuses that are always going to come into your head. She has a boyfriend. It's too loud. It's busy. I would rather go outside. These excuses are always going to come up. So write them down on a piece of paper. Okay?
And this isn't just like, you know, when you're going out and you're trying to get over that approach fear that you have. This is like things that happen. I mean, this technique comes from. You know, I teach my students this also, and it comes from like a sales background. Whenever you're doing sales, you're facing objections of the reasons why people can't move forward with this service or this product you're delivering. You know? They've always got some reason, and they want to, but it's you've got to crush that excuse.
Yeah.
And you are your own worst enemy when it comes to that. You can talk yourself in or out of anything.
Yeah. Right. C'est bon. Merci. Yeah, you know, and there's tons of reasons why, you know, people always say they want. You know, they want to. Oh, I want to study with you, but I want to travel to XYZ, but I want to enroll in college, but and generally the reasons however, but you know, it doesn't matter, and that never matters. And so what I say is to my students, I always say, make it tangible, because A, if you know these are always the same reasons, and B, you know they are going to constantly repeat. Write them down on a piece of paper, and then keep that piece of paper keep it in your wallet, right? So you have it in your wallet, and then anytime you're sitting down and you say, oh, that girl's really gorgeous, but I think she's dating that guy, pull out that piece of paper and look and say, oh, this is my list of bullshit.
I need to go and find out if that is true. Exactly.
Go and find out.
Exactly.
One of my personal fears was actual heights, although I thought I was scared of heights. This time in my life, certain friends of mine, they wanted to go to Switzerland and do the whole Vasaska Dam bungee jump. The Vasaska Dam, for anyone watching, if you like the film GoldenEye, it's actually
I was going to interrupt you and say, is that the one from GoldenEye?
It's exactly the one from GoldenEye. One of Pierce Brosnan actually jumps off in the opening title sequence. You should go there and do that. And anyone that wants to do any personal growth, I'd probably recommend just go and do it. It's fucking awesome.
Personal growth. Bungee jumping.
No, it's really good, really good. So anyway, I went there and I thought, I'm scared of heights. You know, this was the first sort of challenge that I was aware of, that I kind of faced, stared in the face and was like, you know what, I'm you. Right? And I did this, I went up there, and what I realised that it's the fear of the unknown. Because it's like people that are too scared to approach someone, you know, this idea manifests in their head because they don't know what's about to happen. Or that girl that just seems completely so attractive out of her league because they don't know how she's going to respond. You know, it just grows and grows and grows until it explodes in your head. So this for me was a big growing point for me. You know, I knew what falling down felt like. No, sorry, I knew what that felt like, but I didn't know what that felt like.
Yeah.
You know, that was a new experience, like that little 1 degree out, right?
Yeah.
So I did that, and it was a phenomenal experience. And what I learned from that is, wow, the best things that we're scared of, you know, the things that we have, the fear. Every time we embrace the unknown, we experience something beautiful. And that became hardwired into my system. And the following year, I went and done a skydive. You know, and that was a different story. And I really did face myself. I was really managing my mind jumping out that one.
That's not just like I'm scared of heights. That's just like I'm scared of dying because dying is terrible.
Right.
That's like
I've done that, and then I went to like a 3-peak challenge, and I just continue. Like it's become like a character trait now to continually beat yourself. And I think, you know, people really need to identify these things. Like, where are my excuses? What am I making? What are my fears? Make those 2 lists and go, right, I'm going to tick every single one of these off, because that's what makes you, again, I keep saying this word holistically, it makes you more holistically attractive in all areas of your life.
And one of the things too is it really is a question of realigning your reality, right? So
I like that.
So for those of us that are in this business, that are deep in this business, that have been doing this for a very long time, we all remember, like I remember 14-year-old Gareth who talk to anybody. He was so nervous to talk to people, and now just talking to someone is no big deal, you know? And then you have students that are like, oh geez, I could never talk to that super attractive girl because she's, you know, really, really attractive or something like that. And then you get so worried, and eventually if you do that over and over and over again, it's not going to become a thing anymore. It's just what you do. You know, it's like dressing up. It's like being scared of heights. It's like going on adventures. It's like traveling. There's always, you know, they always say like life starts outside your comfort zone or whatever that is. What ends up happening is your comfort zone changes.
Right.
Now you love going to places with lots of people. Now you love talking to pretty girls. Now you love having relationships with really intelligent and sometimes intimidating women that are so intelligent, so experienced, and so worldly that they are intimidating in some ways. And it becomes amazing. It becomes something that you're accustomed to in the quality of your life.
Right. It's, you know, it really is that. Like, it's if anyone can take any sort of value from this video, it's write those two lists down: excuses and my fears. What are my fears? What excuses am I making to actually, you know, take me away from actually achieving them?
Because everybody always wants it. Everybody spends their life wishing they had done X, Y, Z.
Right.
And that's just getting it done early.
Right.
No, there are. If I've learned anything from my older students, you know, 40, 50, 60-year-old students, they're the ones that are saying, you know what, you should have done this when you were 20. And for those of us that read, or some of the students that read the game when they were 20, and they didn't do anything for 6 years, and finally said, God, I wish I had done this when I was 20. Right. Nobody says, you know, I'm really glad I'm glad I waited that 10 years before I started talking to girls. Nobody says that. Nobody says, oh, you know what, I'm really, really stoked I didn't just rush into meeting.
Start now. Start facing your fears now. We can spend endless amount of time making excuses why we're not going to do them. Does it make us grow? No. You just end up in the same little rut. You know, and this problem manifests in your head, and it's ridiculous.
Yeah, it doesn't get anywhere, and then you look back and it's terrible. But I think it's amazing. You know, make those lists. Allow them to talk you out of what you're abandoning, you know? We don't, like, we can release videos and stuff, we can coach people, but it's really up to them.
Yeah.
So we have them make those lists, they go home, they go to a bar, they have that list, and they say, okay, that excuse came up, that means I have to go approach it, go find out.
Right, yeah, again, it's a self-awareness, you know, there's always that little voice in your head. And something I want to say as well, this comes from, like, right at the top of elite sports. I have a friend that he's actually an athlete, and his sports psychologist sat him down and goes, look, you've got this thing in your head. It's always going to be, you're always going to have a sliver of doubt that creeps in. You know, even when you've been training your whole life. It's one race. You know, it's one race, the whole life. And they're sat down there, and they've got this little thing in their head that goes and tells them all these reasons why they can't do it. You know, so it just goes to show that it doesn't matter who you are and what you're doing. Even the people at the top, elite sports, still have this thing in their head. What's the difference is how you manage it. Now, the sports psychologist, what he tells his athletes is, how you manage it is you sort out bringing reference points, positive reference points. We all have negative and positive reference points in our head. And when we're looking at addressing a fear or an element of doubt, we flip back to one. But there's a difference. We choose who we want to listen to. We choose, do we want to listen to Mr. Positive reference point, or do we want to listen to Mr. Negative reference point? And that's the difference between someone that is someone that is successful and someone that is unsuccessful, right? Yeah. How you manage your mind.
What you're going to do.
Right. So, build up those positive reference points. You know, what are you grateful for? What are you happy that you've achieved? And when you have that moment of doubt, switch on, reflect back onto it, and use that as motivation to drive and pull you forward.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool. Well, look, it's been great talking to my friend Gareth here, and we're absolutely stoked. Stoked. He's got me doing the whole American thing. He's got me stoked.
I'm very American.
Very American, but English.
Drinking pasties, yeah.
So we're super excited for this Paris workshop tomorrow. It's a shame that maybe some of you couldn't make it, but I'm sure we're going to have some exciting things coming forward. So subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't already, and get yourself on my newsletter. Exciting things to come forward. Take care.